So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. It is Friday morning, the day after Thanksgiving. I'm over here in the building just kind of planning my day out. I got a fire going in the wood stove. I let it burn out yesterday afternoon because it was cooking in here. Also checking out some trail camera pictures from both here and West Virginia. There's a nice 8-point right there. The first day of deer season here in Pennsylvania is tomorrow. So I think I'm going to hunt tomorrow here, and then probably first of the week I may go back down to West Virginia. We'll have to see. But yeah, fire's starting to take off here. I got the door open just a bit. I like to just throw a little bit in there and get her ripping, get some hot coals, then I'll throw some big stuff in there, and won't even have to fool with it for several hours then. But check this thing out right here. Someone sent us this. Melissa's actually writing a thank you note today, but it's a Eco Fan. AirMax Eco Fan, heat powered stove fan. This is the 812, and it definitely moves the air. That Regency stove, it has a blower on it, and I don't use it very often, to tell you the truth. It works well, but once you get things up to temperature in here, you really don't see any difference. It stays plenty warm whether you're using the fan or not. But I just started using this yesterday, and I'm telling you, especially sitting over here at the table, you can feel the air movement. I'm also going to start using the paddle fan a little bit as well. I haven't done that yet, you know, when heating this room. We've used it with the AC just to move some air around, but I couldn't be happier with the way this building's insulated, and just heating and cooling it is a breeze. Almost 3,000 square feet, and I use one mini split and the wood stove. I still don't have the radiant floor heat hooked up. I need to do that. I mean, I don't need to, I want to, because my heating and cooling needs are taken care of so far. But once I get that done, we'll have 3 different heat sources, and the radiant floor heat will be nice. You know, if we leave for a few days or whatever, just to keep things nice in here when we're gone and don't have to worry about anything. So I need to get that taken care of as well. But first thing on the agenda today, we're going to go load up some firewood. I have to make a firewood delivery. I think I'll take the GMC and the dump trailer. What I like to do is I look them up on Google Maps and see, you know, where these places are. This is a new customer, and you try to get an idea if you can fit the truck and dump trailer in there. I think this one's going to be pretty tight. It's right in town, a local town near us, but we should be okay. If it'll fit, I can get it in there. I'm going to warm up the GMC. It's not real cold this morning, just below freezing. All right, slight change of plans. Sheets run before we do firewood. Hunter was up and at 'em early, and he is ready to seize the day. So we'll head over to Sheets, maybe get just some chicken strip, a little snack. Then we'll load up the firewood. All right, back from Sheets, headed down to the wood yard. We're going to warm up the skid loader and then check on the fire. Oh, it feels nice in here. All right, I've got 3 baskets here ready to load up. But my little system here, it works pretty well. It does, but there's definitely room for improvement. You know, dumping these IBC totes in the dump trailer, it's easy to do, works fine. It just takes a little bit of time, you know. You have to shake them out. You have to strap each one to the forks, obviously, so you don't dump the whole basket in the dump trailer. I was using a bigger strap. We're gonna try one of these little ones. It should be okay. We'll know here in just a minute. But after we load this up, I want to tell you about two different ways, two things I need to do to perfect this system. All right, I'm all loaded up here. I just need to knock that down a little bit. I'll take care of that up at the house before I leave. But I've been thinking a lot about this whole firewood thing here. So as far as cutting firewood goes, I can cut well over a cord of firewood an hour. No problem at all. You know, when I have firewood poles down here at the wood yard with the excavator, it's just super easy, super quick. I can hold those big logs right off the ground, cut them up real quick. So I can easily cut a cord of wood in an hour, well over that. Now, as far as splitting goes, pretty much the same thing. I can, like if it's me and Levi or Melissa and I, easily a cord an hour, no problem at all. So you got 2 hours wrapped up in cutting and splitting if you have the firewood down here at the wood yard. Getting it here, that's a whole nother story. So we're at 2 hours. Now I just realized by the time I come down here with the pickup truck, hook up to the dump trailer, load 3 baskets in this dump trailer, and ratchet strapping each one, you know, I got an hour, close to it probably, just in loading the wood. So I realized this is kind of where my bottleneck is, and I have been looking for ways to improve this. Now, number one is I'm getting a dump truck. Nothing wrong with the dump trailer at all. It works fantastic. It also has some advantages over a dump truck. For example, the plates for this dump trailer is a fraction of the cost here in Taxylvania as a dump truck. So you have some added expense with the dump truck, but just not having to come down here taking the time to hook up the dump trailer. When you come back, unhooking it, you know, I'd save a lot of time there with the dump truck. Plus, it's just easier to get in and out of places with a, you know, like a 1-ton dump, we call it. It's going to be a 550, but it'll just be much quicker and easier to get out of here with that and get dumped than using the dump trailer. There's pros and cons to both. The dump trailer has served me very well. I've hauled a lot of stuff in this, and it's a great trailer, but adding a dump truck to the mix will be one of the things that I can do to definitely speed things up on the delivery end. Now, there's one more thing besides a dump truck that will perfect this little firewood operation, and that is this. I need a set of rotating forks. I've been looking at a couple different manufacturers, but I will definitely get some rotating forks before next fall. I'll probably even get them this spring. And what they do, you know, you come into that basket, you lift it up over top of the trailer or dump truck, and it'll just rotate the whole way over and dump it all out. It doesn't take that much time shaking it out. That's not the problem. I mean, it only takes a few minutes. The problem is, what takes a lot of time is having to strap each one of these to the forks. You know, I pull down to where the baskets are, bring it out, get it close to the trailer, get out of the machine, ratchet strap it on, dump it in the dump trailer, take the empty basket away, get back out of the machine, take the ratchet strap off again, and keep repeating that process, which that is the most time-consuming part of loading the wood. That's what takes the most time. Now, just little things I could do right now that would make things easier. Cut all my baskets out that low, maybe even one more. Like this one's pretty low, it comes out pretty easy. This one's higher. I was just kind of experimenting. You don't want to cut too much and lose, you know, the integrity of the basket. But I think that's a good height right there on that one. Just leave 2 squares on the bottom. But anyway, right now, let's hop in the truck. We'll make this delivery. And I'm going to show you one of the nicest little towns you've ever seen or heard of. All right, so I got back to the house, dropped the trailer off, but I gotta go inside. I gotta tell you a story. It's a good story. So here's the deal. I wanted to show you guys the little town of Zelienople. After I dumped the firewood off, I was gonna take a ride back on Main Street. It's a great little town, it really is. It's one of those ones where, you know, people still shop on Main Street. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just everything there clicks. All their, you know, 4th of July festivities, and they have like fall festivals. Just everything's a home run, and it's just a great little town. But anyway, back to the story. I went to deliver this firewood, and I didn't tell you this part earlier, and I wasn't going to get into it. But the people that I were delivering to, it was brought to my attention this morning that they have a sick child who is in need of a bone marrow transplant. So I find this out, and I said, well, this is pretty easy. I'll just give them that firewood for free. And the only reason I can do that, I've mentioned this before, is because you guys watch this channel. So I said, I'm just going to give them the wood. Might help them out a little bit, you know. But I get down there, and it's tight. I mean, trying to get back in that driveway, it ramps up off the street, telephone pole, overhead wires, trees. The driveway is like exactly as wide as the dump trailer. But I managed to get my trailer in there, and I'm gonna dump, and I realize I'm gonna hit the tree, so I pull up a little bit, and at this point I'm blocking one lane of traffic with the front of the truck because I'm sticking out on the street. So I keep waving cars, you know, both ways, trying to direct traffic and get this wood dumped as well. So as you know, with a dump trailer, you start dumping and you have to pull ahead a little bit. So I dump, pull ahead a little bit, let some more cars go. Well, I get down to the end, there's no getting out from under it unless I get the rest of the wood out. So I pull up, I'm blocking the street at this point, and the trailer's up all the way. So I jump out of the truck and I run out just to kind of throw the rest of the wood out of the trailer. And all of a sudden I hear a horn blowing. Somebody's being a little impatient. I'm like, whatever, you know, I'm going as fast as I can here. And this lady's laying on the horn. She's in a gray F-150. And I just kind of looked at her like, you know, I'm doing my best here. You know, blowing the horn, believe me, it's not going to make me move any faster. If anything, I'm probably going to slow up a bit. But I was like, hold on. Then she puts the window down and starts calling me a bunch of nasty names. She did. And my gosh, she was mad. So then she just turned around and floored it. I mean, she took off. She was mad. And if she had just paid attention and not got so mad, you could have just went into this parking lot, turned left, drive 50 feet and pull back right out onto the street. But she was too focused on being upset with me and calling me names. And there was a young mother pushing her baby down the street on a stroller. She saw this unfold, and I talked to her afterwards, and she was pretty taken aback by this lady's behavior. And she told me, she said, I hope you have a better day. And I said, I'm good, you know, no big deal. But when that first happened, I had this whole series of emotions, you know what I mean? First off, I was mad just for a minute. You know, you're thinking, what is going on here? You know, what's that saying about no good deed goes unpunished? That's kind of what I was feeling. I'm like, I'm delivering a load of wood here for free, and this lady's flipping out. Now, she doesn't know that, but you're wondering what's going on. But I quickly went from angry to gratitude, and that was because I was thankful to be in the position that I'm in now, to be able to just give a family in need a load of firewood. You know, I mentioned it a bunch of times before. It wasn't always like this at all around here. We were broke for a lot of years, but now we're not. And we were able to help others more. So I went from anger to gratitude, then to sorrow, because I got to thinking, this lady might be married. Can you imagine being the poor fellow that's married to that? And then I quickly went to happiness, knowing that I'm not married to her. But yeah, that's a story. I wish I could have showed you the town of Zelienople. I have before in the past, and we'll do that some other time. But man, was that lady mad. Just snapped, just like that. It's crazy. But anyway, that's the lowdown on what happened with the firewood delivery. That situation right there would definitely have been easier with a dump truck. But like I said at the beginning of this video, what would really speed things up on these deliveries is a set of those rotating pallet forks. That and a dump truck, I think I'll have my firewood system perfected. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does things differently, and everyone has different sources of wood, and people have different customers. But for what I do here, I think that would be the two things that I'm lacking that I'll have within the next several months, and I'll be good to go. Like I said, cutting the wood doesn't take long, splitting it doesn't take long, but loading it up for delivery does take some time. Now, I am only touching the wood a couple times, which is good. With a set of rotating forks, you're pretty much down to 2 touches, right? Yeah, if you cut the wood, holding it off the ground with the excavator, yeah, maybe 3. You could call it 3. Say you throw it in the firewood bucket, then onto the splitter. Yeah, and then stacking it in the baskets. That's the other thing. If you were just loading wood out of the wood bunker, like with the firewood bucket, that would be the way to do it. However, it's my opinion, the wood is just not going to get dry in that wood bunker. It's a good start, but you got to get that stuff stacked and get the air to it. You know, what I've done in the past, if it's going to be in there for a little bit, I'll go in there with that firewood bucket and kind of flip it and flop it and get the stuff on the bottom, on the top, and vice versa. But I like selling wood that's stacked. I just don't see any other way around it. You know, split into the bunker, stack it into the IBC totes, and then you don't ever have to touch it again. But you got to get that wood dry. I do have a few customers that I've been talking to that will take their firewood late winter or first thing in the spring for the following year. So we'll do that with what's left in the wood bunker. But besides that, you just got to get that wood stacked. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. Appreciate y'all being here, and I will. There's the Hunt Man. Catch you on the next one.